All right, Coastal Delmarva, get your arguments ready, your debate points ready, because it's time for another great debate. These are fun, friendly debates that we like to have with one another. Keeps your brain sharp, I think.
It keeps everyone sharp. People love it on our Facebook, so you have to check it out.
Yes, and today, ironically or not, we are asking you on our Facebook page, social media. You know, it's a way that connects us in a way that we've never been connected before in history. But does it really connect us, or does it leave us feeling a little bit more socially isolated? That is your debate topic. Maya?
I think it isolates us. I noticed when I was a kid, like I've seen like on Instagram, there's those videos of like, this is how it looked in the 2000s. Like everything was so sparkly and you just love being outside. And now I feel sometimes I'm addicted to my phone. Like I have to pick it up every 5 minutes and I hate it, but I can't stop.
Yep. I'm sort of in the same boat as you. I mean, I dragged my feet getting a smartphone. I wanted to resist so bad. But then as technology changes and the world changes, you know, you don't want to be left behind. You don't want to be that person that can't participate in your job, in your field, in your, and broadcasting really adopted social media. So I was like, man, I have to get it. So I changed from it wasn't a Sidekick, it was some other sort of like little flipped open phone.
Phones with the keyboard. They were the best. Oh my gosh, it was awesome back then.
Yeah, and so I was in college when I got my first smartphone. Like I really resisted switching to a smartphone, but then I was like, no, I need to have it for the job because it's so much easier to post on the go with just your phone rather than having to bring a laptop with you and a hotspot and all the things required.
Do you see a change from your flip to like a smartphone now?
Yeah, I mean, I think because it was so much harder to text on a flip phone, even with the keyboard, it was easier to just call your friends. And so you would get, you know, that voice-to-voice connection as opposed to just staring at a screen. And I think, you know, that the issue with smartphones is it becomes just staring at a screen. You start checking your messages from your friends, and then suddenly, 3 hours later, you're still scrolling through TikTok. And you're like, how did that happen?
And you go down like a rabbit hole. Like, I remember this morning, I was like, I'm going to stay away from my phone. Some days I kind of clock out. I'm watching gardening, and then all of a sudden, I'm watching like animals, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, you just go down this endless timeline.
It is the endless timeline, but you guys had some things to say as well. Bill says, I think people are moving away from Facebook to other mediums. He says he knows of 2 programs, Hometown and Restoring Galveston, that have told followers to go to that medium. He says he doesn't remember the name exactly. Tori says that she uses social media to keep up with people that she doesn't talk to on a daily basis, but doesn't feel as genuinely connected or the reconnection unless you catch up in person, which I think that's true. Like,
definitely agree with Tori.
What I will say of social media in a positive light is that it certainly keeps my mind open to social circles that I'm not a part of.
Yes.
So like I try to follow a lot of people outside my gender, my race, my religion, you know, that way I'm hearing opinions that aren't just funneled down to me or, you know, from my Facebook friends or people that are very similar and familiar to me.
True.
So I am hearing other opinions outside my own sphere, which I like, but I don't know these people personally. I don't know, you know, how there's so much you don't know about those people when you're connecting to random strangers on the internet.
I was definitely thinking about that. Like, I'll watch different influencers and I'll be like, oh my gosh, they did this. How did they do that? And then like a couple months later, you'll hear like, it all was a lie. So like, it kind of scares me when I follow different people and it's like, you don't really actually know them at all.
Yeah, so, you know, I hold on to Facebook to let my parents know that I'm alive and well. And when I go on vacation, they can see my photos. And that's about the reason why I keep my Facebook around. But everything else I've switched over, basically Instagram, TikTok, all of those. And I think there are fun creative outlets. I think TikTok is a great outlet for up and coming artists to share their music where they're not restricted by resources. They don't have to have access to a recording studio. They don't have to have access to an agent. They can get their music out there. So in the creative spaces, I think social media is a really great tool.
I think it's great for that.
I think it's also just really, it can be really damaging to mental health, and there's so much we just don't know about the long-term effects of it because it's so new.
I remember when I was in college, and I'm a big nerd. I love all things health. So I was doing a study on that for kids, and it's kind of detrimental. It's kind of sad. So I think once I'm ready to have children and stuff like that, I think I'm going to wait for social media to be like maybe middle school, later middle school, because I see how it affects some people, and the new generation, I just don't want them a part of it.
I think it's going to be, this is my prediction. I think it's going to be our generation smoking. I think it's going to be like Gen Alpha's going to come up and they'll be like, wow, I can't believe you guys didn't know how bad that was for you. And I think that's going to be like we didn't know. We didn't know when we
Totally
started
agree.
it. But you can always participate in our great debates. You can go to coastlife.com/vote. You can hang out on our socials. We love to hear from you there, and keep this going. We love having the great debate with you, but we do have a little bit more Coast Life to get to. Maya is going to be taking us to the Aloft Hotel when we get back.